Of the Mayor and City Council at 7:06 p.m. Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here, and thank you to those who are viewing remotely. I call to order this joint regular meeting of the Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the redevelopment agency of the City of San Bernardino. Chaplain Joseph Paul Lujan from Victory Outreach Church will lead tonight's invocation, and Selah Johnson from Cajon High School, yay Cowboys, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please approach the podium at this time.
Please stand. If you bow your heads in reverence to the Lord. Father, we just come before you this evening, God, and we thank you for the honor and privilege and the opportunity for us to be able to come and speak today. Lord, I pray for the mayor, I pray for council, everyone attending the meeting this evening, God. I pray for your presence, God, your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding. I pray that we would work together as a city in unity in every topic that is spoken. Lord, you be in the midst of everything, Father, because the main important thing today here is our city and our people that live in the city and everyone here attending, Father. We just thank you for the privilege of being here today. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for allowing me to be able to come and share. Amen. Thank you.
Hello. We're already risen, but okay, let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Chaplain Lujan and Selah. Thank you. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Sanchez. Here. Councilmember Ibarra will be absent. Unfortunately, she had to reschedule her flight to the conference and will not be participating remotely. Councilmember Figueroa.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem will be late to tonight's meeting. Councilmember Reynoso.
Here.
Councilmember Calvin.
Present.
Councilmember Alexander.
Here.
And Mayor Tran.
Here, thank you. Before we conduct city business, as a friendly reminder, as elected leaders of the city, we will endeavor to be respectful to each other, our public, and especially our staff. Our behavior this evening sets the tone for how our residents, business community, and others view our city. We must conduct city business with professionalism and respectful behavior to build trust, credibility, and move our city forward. We shall commit to these values and foster a positive and productive working environment that is conducive to achieving our goals effectively and efficiently. We will move to presentations, and we're going to start off with the City of San Bernardino Youth Civic Engagement Council members. Hello, council members, would you like to join me with our youth council? Okay. I'm delighted to introduce the inaugural cohort of the Youth Civic Engagement Council for our city. This program, established in collaboration with the San Bernardino Unified School District, aims to provide San Bernardino's high school juniors and seniors with the invaluable opportunity to engage in job shadowing activities alongside our city staff and elected officials. This first-hand experience allows them to gain insights into the daily operations of our city. Our first cohort comprises 4 exceptional students who are accompanied by their families. Where are you? Can you raise your hands, your families? Thank you for supporting your children and friends this evening. Let me introduce them. Alani Chapman, a junior at Arroyo Valley High School. Please wave. Alejandro Uribe, a senior at San Bernardino High School. Alex Gilbreth, a senior at Cajon High School. And Silvana Vasquez, a senior at San Gorgonio High School. We are excited to see these young leaders embark on this journey of civic engagement and look forward to the positive impact they will have on our community. Please give them a big round of applause. Madam City Clerk, can you administer the oath of office to our youth councils?
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic? That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California? That you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you're about to enter? Congratulations.
Congratulations. Big round of applause to our youth council first cohort. Let's take a couple pictures. Come on, get close. Thank you, thank you. Right. Yes, and go back. Yep. Next presentation is a proclamation. I see you all in purple out in the audience. For Family Caregivers Month in the city of San Bernardino, November 2023. Would you all want to come up here, stand next to me, and so I can share this proclamation? Thank you. Council, would you like to join me to provide a proclamation for our healthcare workers? Come over to the side too. All right. We gather here today to acknowledge the critical role played by the dedicated in-home supportive services, also known as IHSS workers in our city. These unsung heroes, numbering over 4,000 strong, offer quality care to nearly 5,000 of our most vulnerable residents, including seniors and individuals with disabilities. Their tireless efforts allow our low-income seniors and those with disabilities to receive the care they need within the comfort of their own homes, surrounded by the people they trust, instead of being sent to institutions. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Bernardino do hereby designate November 2023 as Family Caregivers Month. The City of San Bernardino stands united with home care workers and the seniors and people with disabilities who rely on this vital care, acknowledging the essential work and contributions they bring to San Bernardino. Thank you so much, everyone. Right. Quick pictures. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Yes, I would just want to really quickly give a huge thanks to our city council and especially our mayor, Helen Tran, for this recognition. You know, on behalf of SEIU 2015 and the 4,000 caregivers in our city, you know, I want to thank them. And so I'd like to especially our Mayor Tran, because I think in recent years, more and more city, county, and state officials are recognizing the vital work that caregivers give to our most vulnerable citizens. So, and the city recognizing that and giving us this recognition is really, really appreciated. So I just want to give a big thanks to them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. We're going to get back to business. At this time, public comments will be heard. To address the City Council, each individual must fill out a speaker slip. A speaker slip must be completed and turned into the City Clerk. Only those speaker cards turned into the City Clerk will be allowed to address the City Council. No late cards will be accepted. Each person should state their name for the record. If you require Spanish interpretation, we do have an interpreter on site. Please raise your hand at this time to indicate you will need translation assistance. In addition, we have interpreting listening devices available in the back. Please note that the interpreter will be dismissed if we do not receive any requests for interpretation by 9 p.m.
Thank you very much. I will proceed now with the Spanish announcement. En este momento se escucharán los comentarios públicos para dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. Cada individuo debe completar una tarjeta de orador. Se debe completar la tarjeta de orador y entregarla a la secretaria municipal en este momento. Solo aquellas tarjetas de orador entregadas a la secretaria municipal podrán dirigirse al Consejo Municipal. No se aceptarán tarjetas tardías. Cada persona debe indicar su nombre para el registro. Si necesita interpretación en español, tenemos un intérprete presente. Por favor, levante la mano en este momento para indicar que requiere servicios. También tenemos aparatos disponibles para escuchar la Junta en español. Si no recibimos la solicitud para los servicios de interpretación antes de las 9 de la noche, el intérprete se retirará. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you. We have 20 speakers tonight. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. Madam City Clerk.
Okay, the first speakers are Cheryl Brown, Hardy Brown, Mario Flores, Debbie Matley, Cheryl Weeks, Maria Duran Torres, and Al Palazzo. I did.
If you heard your name, please come up to the podium and line up. You turn on the mic and state your name. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, Mayor, Council, City staff, residents of San Bernardino City, SEIU 2015, and community partners. My name is Mario Flores. I'm a field representative for San Bernardino County 5th District Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. I'm here today to extend a heartfelt invitation to 3 upcoming events that we have going on. So our first event is going to be our Cup of Joe event, which will be held tomorrow, November 16th at 9 a.m. in Musqueam at the Baker Family Learning Center. This event is an informative event where the supervisor will be giving 5th District updates to the community and as well as be engaging with the community. We will have special guests from our Sheriff Department, so it is something exciting to come. Please come and engage. Our next event will be this Saturday, November 18th from 9 to 12 at Kessler Park in Bloomington. It's going to be a free baseball clinic for our youth, ages 6 to 13 years old. We will have special guests, Victor Vodnik from the Colorado Rockies and other special guests like from the Angels and Dodgers. So we hope to see you guys there. It'll be a great event for the youth. And lastly, we're gonna have our holiday open house, which will be held on December 7th, 2023 from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is going to be a festive event filled with music, food, community, and all the incredible accomplishments that we have done in the 5th District. We hope that you're able to come out. We will have animal care out just to represent, and it's going to be a great evening. We hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
My name is Alfred Palazzo. This is a great day for San Bernardino. The Stanley family has asked me to speak on their behalf. They've done so much for this city. They are connected with the Enterprise building. They are in escrow to get the Harris Company. They would like to invite anyone who's interested tomorrow night at 7:30 to come to the Enterprise building with any ideas on how we can reinvent the old Harris Company building. I have often said it could be our Mission Inn. It has so much potential. Please show up if you care about San Bernardino. Support the Stanley family. They're also asking for anybody that think that they might be an investor. I next would like to invite you, Mayor, to take my vision tour. A couple of months ago, you mentioned Mount Vernon, how to bring economic development. I can show you how we can make it our Champs-Élysées. I can show you buildings, how we can bring them to San Bernardino, what's wrong with San Bernardino with our zoning. These buildings have existed for 50 years. They don't exist in San Bernardino because our zoning can't accommodate them. And if you really want to rebuild San Bernardino, please take my tour, because there are other people who are waiting in line to see how we can transform Mount Vernon to complement our downtown, not to compete. Again, I go back to the Stanley request. I was honored when Ryan called me today. He called me later and he said, Al, I just can't make it to the city council meeting. Why he reached out to me, I don't know, but I know I'm a pain in the butt, because I have been constantly telling people what we can do with our city. And I have told Ryan, save some space for a venue for fine dining and a dance venue. I want to see a Copa Club. Shirley Harlan, she passed away. She took my vision tour probably 15 years ago. She said, you know, Al, the old Cafe Madrid where you have those stairs off of E Street, why can't we make it a jazz club and bring back the music of the 40s, the swing music? I say bring back the music of every decade, Motown, rock and roll, polka, waltz. San Bernardino used to have a venue at the Inland Center, the Valley Ballroom, and Pomona used to have the Rainbow Gardens, and bands from all over the United States and celebrities would come. Let's make this a destination city.
Thank you so much. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening. My name is Debbie Matling, and I am with the Community Ho-Ho Parade. It's that time of year, and we wanted to pop in and let you guys know that we will be cruising through San Bernardino with Santa from Monday, December 4th through Thursday, December 7th. Our routes are listed on our website at www.hohoparade.com. This year, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we'll be having movies at our arrival parties that'll be starting at 6:20 for the kids. All parties have hot cocoa and cookies for the kids. And then on Wednesday night, we will be ending at the Miracle on Court Street. So we hope to see you on the parade route. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Weeks. I work in the City Council office, and I was asked to represent our city's YMCA. Mr. Jerry Holmes was unable to attend tonight, so I'm going to read something that they sent. And this is for the 46th Annual Children's Christmas Parade. The San Bernardino YMCA would like to invite everyone to the 46th Annual Children's Christmas Parade, scheduled for Saturday, December 9th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, with the holiday jubilee to follow from 12 noon to 2 p.m. where we will have pictures with Santa, live performances, information booths, hot chocolate, cookies, candy canes, a big celebration welcoming the Christmas season. The YMCA is located at 808 East 21st Street. They are excited to announce that Assembly Member James Ramos, Board of Supervisor Baca, our Mayor Helen Tran, Council Member Alexander, our Chief of Police Goodman, and other dignitaries from the community will lead the parade. If anyone would like to participate in the parade or set up an information booth at the Jubilee, there is still time. There is no charge for parade entry or booth setup. For additional information, please call 909-881-9622. Ask for either Jerry Holmes or Letty Briggs, or you can call the council office at 909-384-5188 for more information if you missed this. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam City Clerk?
Okay, last call for Cheryl Brown, Hardy Brown, and Maria Duran Torres. The next speakers, Asia, I believe that's Asia Hay, Irene Chagoya Gonzalez, Jim Smith, Makaya, Ollie Espinoza, and Keith Benitez.
If you hear your name, please come up to the podium, lined up. Thank you.
Speaking together. Yeah. Hello, my name is Irene Chagoya Gonzalez. We just wanted to go ahead and thank you for doing wonderful things in the city, Ms. Helen Tran. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Asia Hayes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, my name is Micaiah McKenzie. I'm here to just, discuss that there's a lot of potholes recently, and now a lot of them's been taken care of. So I'm asking to, for that to be taken care of. And also that to talk about the homeless, considering now it's coming down to the winter time, so it's be cold. So there's a lot of fires of recent, so I'm asked for that. And the reason why is because rent's too damn high. So that's about it.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, Mayor and City members. My name is Ollie. Today I'm here to talk about the potholes and unkept roads in our city. It's affecting our daily lives on the streets around my home. And the leveled cracking and with inconsistent sidewalks is just a hazard to walk to my local convenience stores to buy regular essentials. I've fallen many times attempting to cross the streets, and with many drivers being impatient, it's slowly becoming a hazard. Please do something about the unkept streets. Also, the youth point in time count is happening in January. We need as much people as we can get to volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, I'm Keith Benitez. I'm here on behalf of the City Youth Advisory Board to talk about the youth point in time count and, once again, potholes. There's just a lot of them. And the youth point in time count is coming up this January. If you have any youth up to volunteer, anybody in general, we're going to go out and physically count our homeless youth and homeless adults so we can essentially, we're trying to fight to get the YHDP funding, a more amount, so we can fund for better, more beds, more housings, more infrastructure for them. It's just a lot of, we need the numbers to get the money. So we're just gonna go out and count them physically. It's January, we don't have a solid date yet, but we are in the planning stages. So if you have anybody interested, contact Christian. He's usually our main go-to. And also, there's 2 crosswalks on my way to work and home from school that kind of are really bad. And people are mean and honk at me when I don't cross fast enough, so I kind of am scared of them. So yeah, it's on Highland and E like where the Little Caesars, where the Arrowhead to Little Caesars is, that's where it is. There's a big crack, and I keep almost falling, and my shoes are heavy, and I'm just talking because I fell yesterday, and I almost got hit. Thank you, bye.
Thank you. Regarding about the potholes and what you just mentioned, I encourage you to download the app, Go SB City app, if you have heard of it, and report those potholes. So that way it gets reported to us so we can respond. Okay, thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Yes, I'm Jim Smith with the Native Sons of the Golden West. I wanted to indicate that we will be in that Santa Claus parade on the 9th of December. We've been in town since 1887. We're now meeting at the Enterprise Building, which was spoken about earlier today. There's a many bright spots in the city of San Bernardino. One of the bright spots, celebrations took place on Veterans Day on November the 11th, where we celebrated Veterans Day here in San Bernardino. I've been to many Veteran Days. I'm a longtime citizen of San Bernardino, been to many veterans ceremonies. This is the best I've ever been to. And my hat's off to our mayor, the 5 city council people were there. We also had Joe Baca was there, Jr., and also Eloise Reyes. We had a wonderful turnout, and the weather was beautiful. No rain that day, which was great. Worked out fine. I wanted to talk a little bit, if I could, about Veterans Day. Veterans Day is not like Memorial Day. And I wanted to bring everybody's attention to an article today in the Southern California News Group Inland Empire Edition. Used to be the Sun. There's an article by Mark Landis about the history of Veterans Day. And you might want to take the time to look at that because it explains basically how important that occasion is. We recognized 3 veterans that day. One has unfortunately deceased last year, Jimmy Valdez, who's very involved with the San Bernardino Historical Society. But I want to commend all of the council people that were there, and the mayor. Were a tremendous opportunity to talk about veterans. Veterans Day are for living veterans. So there are many veterans there lined up, and I want to thank Councilman Charette for passing out coins that day, which was great. I took a couple, and I'm going to give them to my grandsons, because that's what we do, is to preserve the history of not only California, that's what the Native Sons do,
Thank
but
you.
also San Bernardino. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Next speakers, Ulysses Benitez, Georgia Lacarezos, Mike Hartley, Brett Ward, Dolores Armstead, Candy Sagrero, and lastly, Lydia Zavala.
Thank you, and thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for joining us. All right, please come up to the podium and state your name.
Hello, my name's Ulysses Benitez. I'm here on behalf of the San Bernardino Youth Advisory Board. And what's that called? I was gonna talk about potholes, but then I just got reminded that the Youth Point in Time count is January, and we're working on a food drive to, you know, ways like awareness for it. So, you know, contact Christian for more info. And I mean, that's basically all I have to say. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. My name is Georgia Lacarezos. I typically start my comment about our animals, but want to speak about something else first. I was present when a few shameless individuals disrupted our now well-publicized meeting, specifically those on Zoom that made some awful statements with clear intentions to divide us. I too apologize to Ms. Malone for their awful behavior and can't imagine being subjected to that at a very public meeting. Those in attendance were as shocked and speechless as was the council. I surely hope that this doesn't evolve into something it shouldn't and exactly what they want. Most of us do not align ourselves with these hateful humans and ask that we please do not allow this to drive a deep wedge between us all, further distracting us from the work necessary to continue moving our city forward, united. At the last Animal Control Commission meeting, we were told that the heating system beneath the kennels is in disrepair. And with the colder climate upon us, the dogs don't have what they need to stay warm, which is unacceptable. We beg you to allocate whatever funds or resources necessary to get this repaired immediately and beg for temporary alternatives to keep them warm until this is done, especially with the little ones and the puppies. Last, our new shelter manager is clearing dogs that are considered long-timers by listing them for death for surprising reasons. Why? I am certain that most, if not all, have not been to any adoption events to get them seen and adopted. Our focus should always be on saving as many of these animals as possible, and we must start using the commission to help accomplish what they were appointed for, as it seems many barely offers discussion, let alone collaborate on viable solutions or ideas to address the increase in killing for space. Hoping to see more of a revival, as we have a lot of work to do to get our shelter back on track. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Lydia Savala. I am here to share with you a proactive measure taken by our neighbors to the west to address the overcrowding at LA City shelters by recommending a temporary moratorium on dog breeding licenses due to overcrowding. The Animal Services General Manager stated that organizations that are very pro-breeding are not organizations that do anything to help animals in animal shelters. They're simply creating animals for us to kill later, and that is not appropriate. Over the last 2 decades, she has seen more purebred dogs, and this temporary moratorium would, the city would resume issuing permits when the city shelters fall below 75% capacity. So I'm here to say that it would be so encouraging to see our city engage in something of significance, significant proactive practices. I'm not aware of programs that offer much more than a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage. While other cities enforce spay-neuter laws through licensing, we do not. Other cities, such as Los Angeles, have initiated a ban on breeding. We have not. Other city shelters have a veterinarian on staff eliminating the release of intact dogs. We do not. Other cities only release dogs when spayed and neutered. We do not. We do not offer low-cost spay-neuter, and we are not like other cities because of our poverty level. So I'm here to reemphasize the need for a mobile spay-neuter unit that could set up at each ward, in each ward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at the senior center or a library or a city park, because there is no more effective way to reduce the pet population than to have a veterinarian. You can't do it without a veterinarian. You've got a couple hundred dogs and you have no veterinarian. Would you want to be in a hospital without a doctor? It just doesn't make sense. And you may be saying to yourself, well, my constituents think that it's more important to fill the potholes, which I agree it is important, but your constituents didn't create those potholes. Your constituents are responsible for creating this mess of so many dogs in the street. And euthanasia seems to be the most common measure taken to reduce the pet population. It's just not right. And I have the article for you if you wish. I'll leave it.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Mike Hartley. I have lived in the 7th Ward for 28 years. And I bought my house 28 years ago because the 7th Ward was the safest ward. It's no longer the safest ward. I think it's the 5th, 6th, and now the 7th. Damon, when you mentioned your trunk or treat for Halloween, you failed to mention the gang members that were shooting up Broadmoor and shot 2 innocent bystanders. You failed to mention that. I can bring up a murder that happened on the golf course. I can bring up 5 hooligans who stole a golf court last week for a joyride. And I honestly do not feel I'm being represented by my council person. You're up for re-election, and I got to tell you, I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Candy Sagredo, and I am a concerned resident of the city of San Bernardino. I am here tonight to make a complaint on behalf of my neighbors. Our neighborhood has been terrorized for months by my next door neighbor. He continues to trash the back alley of my property by bringing trash on a daily basis. Despite many calls to the Public Works, Code Enforcement, and the police department, the alley gets trashed every single day after it gets cleaned by the city. He steals trash bins from our nearby neighbors, and he uses that to transfer the trash, to bring the trash and to transfer the trash from one side of the alley to the other, blocking our way to enter the alley to access our properties. I have produced video evidence to the police department, and they did nothing. My neighbor has been in possession of stolen vehicles parked in the alley, blocking my gate. Police did nothing. Last time my neighbor had a fire in the back alley, fire department was called and did nothing. This morning, my neighbor said he was going to beat me up. Police was called and they did nothing. So I am here tonight to express my concern and to request your assistance in this matter, because I don't want it to be too late for him to do something to me, because police did nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Dolores Armstead. People, please do not lose sight of why there were so many protests regarding the CM decision at the last 2 meetings. Do not forget his character and why the 5 hired him. San Bernardino deserves better. Probably nothing of real importance will be on the agenda for the next 2 months, mainly to get us to forget what happened. People stay vigilant. There was a sad planning commission meeting last night. Due to the general plan not being updated since 2006, the planning commission was forced to consider a warehouse smack in the middle of a housing neighborhood and a truck parking yard in an environmentally impacted neighborhood. I asked the planning director if we can slow down approvals of new projects until we, one, get a real truck study, not like the mess we had. And she said because they are short-staffed, they're just really backed up and they can't do everything. I just want people to know the planning department is trying, but because she has a short staff, they've been working on backlogs. We desperately, desperately need to get revisions to the general plan and the municipal codes, because that's why the Planning Commission was basically forced to vote on something we did not want to approve. We didn't have a choice because of the current general plan and municipal codes. So we need your help. Planning is trying. We need to get on that as soon as possible. Last night, we also had an item that came that's basically another potential Oxbow issue in the 5th Ward. It will regarding crushing, grinding, and storing on site. There were 30 people, about 30 people, that came to voice their concerns. When is the city going to address Oxbow number 1? Because it's been a few years. It's another year. We've had another windstorms. We're now in the rainy season, and nothing's been done. Developer has not had to address any of the repercussions for his illegal storage, crushing, and grinding. We have no excuse for not addressing Oxbow. Think about the people. Think about your voters. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Brett Ward, lifelong resident of San Bernardino, born and raised at 545 East Ralston Avenue in San Bernardino, Ward 7. I'm commenting today on item 8, which is the professional services agreement with Central Square Technologies, the CrimeView and FireView software technology. I don't know if any of you saw the email I sent to your, don't know if you get it, SB County or City, council.org. Here's a press release, how they're doing on that with the fire review and the police review departments in a city called Charleston, Indiana. Police said in their press release, the data shows the type, dates, types, and street blocks where reports were made. Officer Chuck Ledbetter is quoted as saying the residents are using the same type of information that we are for purposes of knowing what's going on in their community. Many police departments across the country, including Louisville, Kentucky Metro Police, are sharing crime mapping software with residents and businesses. Programs show several types of crime reports, including assault, robberies, shootings, driving violations, homicides, and more. Officer Ledbetter continued, the maps don't show everything that Charleston PD does. It doesn't show traffic stops or patrols we make or internal plans or forecasting. All we want to do is show the types of information, all of it, the actual crime data that directly influences the citizens. Officer Ledbetter hopes Charleston residents and businesses will be able to help prevent future crimes by knowing what's going on in their neighborhoods. The map software can be accessed through their Charleston PD website. They've downloaded mobile apps, and they're customizable by the residents. You can find out by an alert 500 feet to 2 miles away if a crime or a fire or a medical alert is going on in your residence or business. Now here's my comments, briefly, in the last 20 minutes, jogging them down. Boosting confidence in our government at any level is going to require a lot of public access and disclosure, particularly within law enforcement agencies. For some decades now, bureaucrats and politicians have and continue to hide behind no comment. Go file a Freedom of Information Act request and wait 6 months, don't get an answer, and then have to file a suit. Well, I don't want any more of that in our times. Should San Bernardino cop to not accepting that? Cop into that, pardon the pun. Finally, I'd like to believe that the constitutionality of withholding public safety info on crime scene incidences from our residents and businesses, calls and fires and medicals, for which, by the way, we're financing tonight if they pass this, is challengeable. For you would be voting to cut the people out, again, to keep some more secrets, possibly even under the color of authority. I urge the members of this council to please ensure your vote to approve and accept this 5-year contract includes such amendments and provisions for public release and access to software interfacing, just as other cities have done.
Thank you. That concludes public comment. Is that correct, Madam City Clerk? Thank you. At this time, we move on to City Manager report. Mr. City Manager, do we have any report?
Mayor, Council, I don't have any report unless Ms. Chris Watson still has a beautiful puppy up here she wants to bring over. Other than that, I do not have a report at this time.
Thank you. Moving on to consent calendar, we do have number 9 pulled by staff for further review. There's a motion to move the balance.
I'd like to pull 8. Mostly
Number
for questions.
8 by Councilmember Sanchez and Councilmember Calvin to be pulled. So that there's a motion to move the
Second.
balance. There's a second.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Figueroa?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem? Yes. Councilmember Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilmember Calvin?
Yes.
Councilmember Alexander?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Number 8.
Mayor, Council, Councilmember Ibarra, Councilmember Calvin, or Councilmember, I'm sorry, Sanchez. Roland here to speak to it in detail. What it is actually is this is migrating the current software and upgrade to the cloud. This is not doing anything else at this point in time. But Mr. Roland can expand on that if you have any other questions.
Yeah, I still think it resonated with the comments from that last speaker. And I know there's a lot of software collecting data, whatever. If we can, in the future, be able to kind of, surmise everything and put stats in a way that are consumable by a San Bernardino resident on the city website, that'd be great. I'm ready to move forward on this item, but I wanted to bring it up as a discussion point, so it carries and it's part of the official record. So if staff can hear us out and maybe entertain that, that'd be great.
Councilmember Sanchez, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Move to approve.
Councilmember Calvin, did you have a question?
I do, thank you. So you're saying that we're just upgrading,
Yes, ma'am.
utilizing the same?
Yes, the Central Square is the software that's been utilized now for the PD for, I don't know how many years, I could look that up, but this is just an upgrade to extend the contract to make it on the web.
So when you speak about upgrading, are there more details? There's going to be, no.
No, it's the same software, it's just a continuation of the contract.
And so this contract, did we go out for an RFP for this contract, or was there a need to do that?
It's a single or sole source, really, because it's the same software that's currently being utilized. And if we go out to utilize a different software, you're encompassing training and a bunch of other changes that don't work, that may not work with our current systems.
Thank you.
Councilmember Reynoso?
I just want to make sure for the record that this information will be publicly accessible. Is that a guarantee?
Mayor, Council, Councilmember Reynoso, yes, we will work with the police chief and we'll discuss it with them and find out an easy method for the public to look at the material that is available to them publicly. There is other police reports, information that cannot be, but we'll work with them at the time, yes.
Yeah, to assure everyone here, apparently a lot of this information is out there. So more than anything else, the action staff can take would be to synthesize this and put it on the city website, whether it's through a link or putting it in some sort of chart, table, whatever. But apparently, this information is already out there.
Councilmember, next time, please be recognized.
That was
before
just a
you
comment. Thanks.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
There's a motion and a second.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Figueroa?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem? Yes. Councilmember Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilmember Calvin?
Yes.
Councilmember Alexander?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Moving on to future items. Number 12, consider establishment of a North End Police Substation. Councilmember Reynoso?
Yeah, I'd like to move approval.
Second. Mayor?
Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes, I'm real suspicious this item coming forward, especially by Councilmember Reynoso, who I've seen firsthand publicly insult police officers and disrespect police officers in public, in uniform. He is also, as recently as this calendar year, voted against a federal grant, free money, for bulletproof vests for our police officers. And he voted against that and asked why he did that. he said, it's not my style. So I think I've had conversations with our police department. I stay in close touch with them, and they could better spend this money elsewhere. We don't need a substation right now. I know our police department would never turn down any resources, but I think the money could be better spent elsewhere other than a substation. So I would request that we amend this to be an item that opens up the opportunity for police administration to come back with some sort of program that the city could consider funding that would help them promote a safer San Bernardino. So that would be my motion.
Is that a substitute motion, council member?
Yes, it is.
Sonia, can you comment on
Madam City Attorney, I'm sorry.
Do you guys remember what this was? Can we have a reminder of what these are?
Please.
When a council member, we have a written policy that allows any council member to bring an item forward. It is their item. You either vote their item up or down. If you wish to bring your own item later, you can bring your own item forward.
Well, now it's part of the public record, so I'd like to
Yes.
vote no against this, and I would encourage our police administration to come back with some sort of program that the city could consider funding, this council could consider funding, that would promote a safer San Bernardino.
And then just so that everyone is clear, remember, the policy says, and the reason why you can't make these amendments is because the policy says that you have to give your idea to the city manager in writing. Since your idea is new, it can't come up off the floor. You would have to submit your idea to the city manager, and that would be then placed on the agenda.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. There's a motion and a second. Please call for the votes.
Councilmember Sanchez?
No.
Councilmember Figueroa?
No.
Councilmember Charette?
I vote no as well.
Councilmember Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilmember Calvin?
Yes.
Councilmember Alexander?
Aye.
Okay, the vote is 3 to 3.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. And I wanted the record to reflect that accountability is not an end-all to increasing police presence. The North End has been deprived of that for a long time. Doesn't matter if I hold police accountable.
This is not part
We
of the
had to,
discussion.
we had to hear that.
This is over.
No, that's not fair.
Please.
Then I represent the
Please.
North End of San Bernardino. They wanted a police substation. It was taken during the bankruptcy. And so this is the reasoning behind it. That's all.
Madam City
As a
Attorney,
point of order, we do have the next item, which is the mayor and council member updates and reports.
you can make those comments then. Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to Mayor City Council updates. Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes, give me 1 second. City of San Bernardino and Cal State San Bernardino opened up their Entrepreneurial Resource Center in downtown San Bernardino on November 2nd, and that will assist small businesses, family-owned businesses, and minority-owned businesses to start up and grow. The idea for the ERC came before the city and Cal State during the Aspen Institute's event here in the city. And that again opened up on November 2nd. Second, we had a great turnout earlier this month at the Dia de los Muertos experience at the Court Street Square. That was a beautiful event on 2 Saturdays ago. I attended, and it was well attended, and it was a very beautiful event. Last month, we launched the weekly farmers market at Court Street Square. They're every Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., and those are at Court Street Square. And they're typically 20, 25 local produce vendors there. So I encourage everyone to go out. Miracle on Court Street will be returning this year in December. There will also be an ice skating rink, and that will be the event will run from December 4th to December 16th. The demolition of the Carousel Mall is nearing completion. As most people who drive on either 5th Street or 2nd Street will see that we're moving quickly towards completing that monumentous project. Finally, the city received $6.4 million to refurbish Feldheim Library, the building we're all in right now. The city will be receiving that through the California State Library renovation grant. And that will help improve and make upgrades to our ADA accessibility, windows, doors, HVAC, air filtration, electrical system, security system, and backup power generator. Oh, actually, and there is one more thing. The street sign replacement program is set to begin. So all those, sometimes it just takes small, detailed fixes to really change the appearance of the city. The street signs are a great way to spruce up the city, and that is being launched later this week. That's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Figueroa?
Thank you. Not necessarily an announcement, but just simply saying thank you to our Parks Department under Liddy's leadership with the Veterans Day salute, and every other department. I think Public Works had a hand in that as well. And just wanted to say, job well done. It was well attended, a beautiful day. It was certainly an honor to pay respect to our veterans who sacrificed so much for our freedoms. So I just wanted to say, job well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you very much, Mayor, and I will echo those statements about the Veterans Day event. It was a great day, and couldn't have been better weather, and it was a beautiful morning, and I want to personally, again, thank any veterans that are within earshot of this announcement, that I thank them for their service. And there are a lot of them out there, and it was a great event, and I want to thank all the staff for putting it on. The reason I was late this evening is because I was attending the annual Salvation Army Red Kettle kickoff dinner tonight. I happen to sit on that advisory board, and because we didn't have a closed session, I was able to kind of do both. So I apologize for my tardiness here tonight, but that was the kickoff for the Salvation Army for their Christmas and holiday season. And I learned something that I didn't realize. Last year, 82 Stater Brothers allowed, Pete Van Helden, the chairman of Stater Brothers, was there tonight to speak. I didn't get to stay to listen to him, but Stater Brothers allowed the Salvation Army in the region 82 stores, 82 red kettles. We've all seen them. They're out the front door of various retail stores, ringing a bell. Last year, with just the red kettles alone, they raised over $500,000, and that's just in this region. So those red kettles work. Do the math. I didn't do it, but do the math. Divide 500,000 by 82 and see how many thousands of dollars go into those red kettles. So I want to encourage anyone that can hear me and the community to support the Salvation Army. They do a great job for our unhoused and many others. So I also attended a couple of neighborhood association meetings, fairly routine. We go and listen to the concerns. We hear all the complaints about potholes and traffic on Highland Avenue going to the casino and things like that, and we're trying desperately to mitigate a lot of those problems. But those neighborhood associations, I encourage all of you to find out where one is for your neighborhood and try to attend and participate. And with that, I thank you, Mayor.
Thank you,
Mayor, point of order.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Point of order. On the portion of this agenda where it reads Mayor and City Council updates, reports on conferences and meetings, City Attorney, can you please clarify what is permissible and what isn't permissible during these comments?
I would have to look at your decorum resolution. I don't have
No,
that
no, no,
handy.
no, 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 no.
What do you mean?
This is now, I'm asking you about a Brown Act violation. What reads here on the
Councilmember,
agenda?
There's no Brown Act violation by providing updates. Madam City Attorney?
I'm trying to understand what you're asking.
Okay,
So are you asking what they can talk about?
yeah. What are we allowed to talk about under this portion of the agenda?
We've been pretty lenient in allowing you to talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether it's something that you attended, whether it's a special event that you would like to announce to the community, whether it's your thought on an issue. We've never used this time to debate. I don't think we've ever policed you on what you want to talk about during your updates or reports.
So
And
we're
we've been
allowed
pretty
to,
consistent, Councilmember, we've been pretty consistent providing updates.
so are we allowed to discuss political issues? Are we allowed to discuss things? Because we're still in a publicly noticed council meeting. So this still falls under the jurisdiction of the Brown Act.
Councilmember, we're
Am I
going to
correct?
continue.
Yes, I want to be responsive to you. I don't understand what you're asking. You're making statements, and I'm not understanding your question.
I think we need a policy on this because for too often, some of my colleagues have used this as an opportunity to campaign, to promote an
see.
item they're going to discuss. And the issue we're having here is that we're very clear and we're very strict on what can be discussed on the rest of the agenda. But as soon as we get to this portion of the agenda, suddenly that all goes out the window.
Well, we don't have a policy on it. On the other item we discussed, we have a written policy. So we're enforcing a policy. Here,
correct.
you don't have a policy.
Right.
If you want a policy, we can work with the city manager and the city clerk's office to get you one.
Is this still not
Mr.
part
City-
of the public, is this still not part of the publicly noticed meeting? Does this not still fall under the jurisdiction of the Brown Act?
It does, but what you're not understanding is we have a written policy that governs items to be considered for future meetings. A written policy.
he's not talking about that.
He's
I
talking about,
understand.
right.
We don't have a written.
Please allow Madam City Attorney to speak.
We don't have a written policy that governs what you decide to talk about during updates and reports.
Yes, we do. You know
If
what
you-
it is? It's the government code.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you, but we don't have a written policy.
We don't have.
Councilmember,
the
let's
government code
continue
doesn't
the
address this?
Brown
updates,
Act does
and then we
not
can
define-
discuss this further with the city manager. You'll take a look at that
The
for
Brown Act
policy
doesn't
reasons.
define what you can update. It doesn't tell you what you can do.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, would you like to speak?
Mayor, council members, what we will do is we will get together, the three of us, and we'll look at it. However, I would recommend, highly recommend, that when you guys are giving updates, you give personal updates. Anybody can say you're campaigning for this or that, but keep this in mind that you may have an opponent when you're campaigning against, and you have to give equal time to that opponent, even if they're not on the dais. So I would be very careful where you tiptoe with that one. But we will work together. to
Thank
come
you.
up with a policy.
Thank you. All right, we'll continue with the updates, and then we'll look at the policy under Mayor Council updates. Thank you. Councilmember Reynoso?
Thank you, and I'm sorry about that. Yeah, they say if everybody likes you, you're not doing something right. I want to acknowledge, because it is a part of the updates, that, as I was mentioning previously, that the request was brought forward because we didn't have the money. I know it costs a lot of money to bring something like a substation forward, but it was taken away during bankruptcy, and so now it's brought forward. The end. Sorry that I scared you. I want to highlight that I attended the Only Empire Award Show, the first award show for Inland Empire music artists, put on by Inland Empire music artists. It was incredible. It was held at the Garcia Center for the Arts. Putting on for the community has been something that the Inland Empire appreciates and understands more than any other community, I feel. And being a part of that and being invited to that as the only elected official, it was incredible to be there. Got to see a lot of North End giants there, like Cam Gnarly, Nabian, who's a very successful producer for artists like Drake, Kanye West, Travis Scott, SZA, and more, was there in person. And Hit Boy from Fontana, his mother was there to accept an award with his sisters. It was really cool to see that. And so I want to thank everybody who put that on. That came through grant funding provided to the city for the arts for the betterment of San Bernardino, which was one of the criteria for accepting that grant. Want to also give a special shout out to Sonny Babel, who actually played Junior All-American with my brother. He received Album of the Year for Tower of Babylon, which is about his father who passed away recently. But just San Bernardino is putting on for itself, and super proud to see it. In that same vein, I want to highlight one of my brother's teammates, JD5, commonly known as JD5, Jaden Daniels, who went to Cajon High School, class of 2017. Graduated Arizona State, and now he's at, that's right, Cheryl, and now he's at LSU, which I have a lot of family down the coast of Mississippi, and you're either a Bama fan or LSU fan. I'm a big-time LSU fan, too. And so seeing him there is full circle. My mom's hoping he goes to the Saints, but he's definitely a Heisman Trophy contender from San Bernardino, California, from Cajon High School. So that's incredible. I hope that he gets it so I can throw a parade for him. Hopefully, like, we would encourage something like that. Jaden Daniels. All-star. Also wanted to say thank you to our Parks and Rec department as well. We had the Veterans Day salute. It was an incredible event. I had the opportunity personally to honor Ruben Luis, James R. Valdez Jr., and Gilbert Andres Munoz veterans. James isn't here with us anymore, but his family was there to receive the award, and it was an incredible event. Felt very warm, one of the best veterans events that I've ever attended myself as well. Also want to highlight the Entrepreneurial Resource Center that finally came to fruition. I want to thank the mayor and Councilman Calvin for being there. That was an incredible event. I wish other council members had been there, but it was great to see all the small businesses that have received grants, that have been successful through the Inland Empire Small Business Development Corporation, in bringing businesses to life, small businesses. And so now we have the opportunity to serve some of the more niche audiences and getting legally operating in the city. Want to also give a shout out. We're in San Bernardino, but there was a council member in Santa Ana who just survived a recall funded by a police union. That was incredible. Jesse Lopez, a champion for working people, and I feel that in San Bernardino, it's hard to face a beast like that. $800,000 from the union, $600,000 on the city's dime, and she still beat it. And so props to her, props to all the people who are out there supporting real working family champions. And lastly, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Hope that you enjoy your families, and I want to encourage you all. I know Councilman Alexander is going to highlight it, but I'm going to participate for the first time this year, the SB Turkey Trot. You can register at sbturkeytrot.com, put on by his lovely wife, Felicia Alexander. Thank you for doing that, Councilman, and thank you for supporting your wife. You know, dynamic power couple, so thank you for being you. And lastly, I just want to say thank you, San Bernardino, for continuing to believe that it's worth it to fight for residents in the city of San Bernardino, that you can do more than just be one way. You can be like full spectrum representative of all people. And so thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Calvin?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Good evening, San Bernardino. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and for those that are listening, I, as Councilmember Reynoso mentioned, did attend the entrepreneurship ribbon cutting. It was fabulous. That is going to be a magnificent collaboration with Cal State University of San Bernardino. To be able to help entrepreneurs launch their businesses, that is remarkable, and that is definitely in the American dream. So I was happy to be present there. I also attended Dignity Health, had a gala honoring Mr. Lehman. That was very wonderful as well. Attended the 13th annual San Bernardino County Homeless Summit this past week. So the information that we received there is that we are definitely moving forward with building more housing in our region to be able to house those that are unsheltered. Attended the Veterans Day event, Park and Rec, Public Works. Again, you guys just knock it out the park every time that you all step forward to bat and bring us something remarkable for the whole entire city. Northwest PAC Monday night held a meeting, their monthly meeting, and there was CERT training there, and representatives from the American Red Cross to speak to us about emergency situations and are we prepared? Do you have what you need in your car, in your home, in order to survive an emergency? Youth Council members, this is something that we have been waiting for a while, so congratulations to you. Corey, the team, you guys did an excellent job bringing forth everybody. We appreciate all the work that you guys have done in this year-long project. Thank you so very much. I want to say congratulations to Operation Rebound. Owen Duckworth, they fed over 100 families last night. These families that they were feeding have incarcerated relatives, so they may not be able to have dinner with them or even to have Thanksgiving dinner. So I appreciate that type of service for the community. Very, very important. I also attended the Inland Empire Black Equity Fund along with Inland Empire Community Foundation's event celebrating the amount of funding that Inland Empire Black Equity has received. These are the type of organizations that are continuously funding all type of community members to make sure that we have equity within our region. Again, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone as well. There are a lot of organizations that are going to be feeding the community. So if you don't know of any, please go to our website. I believe that the city has already posted some of them on their website, and I have posted some of them on mine as well. Councilmember Alexander won't be attending the turkey trot. I always tease him because it's so early and I hate being cold in the morning, but I'll be on vacation. So wish you guys all the best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Alexander?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I'm sorry I missed the Veterans Day program here in the city, but I was the keynote speaker for the Riverside National Cemetery program, A Flag for Every Hero. So that was the first time I ever got to be the keynote speaker for there. So just to wish every service member that has put on a uniform, thank you for your service and thank you for what you have done. I also attended, along with Councilmember Calmer, the IECF Black Equity Fund and Foundation dinner and mixer. It was a great event, and how many businesses that were helped during that mixer and dinner. Assemblyman Corey Jackson also gave $1 million from his office to that equity fund. So thank you, Assemblymember Jackson. Nina has its own little Christmas caravan that we started along with Dina Cervantes. We have been doing it for the last 4 years, and it will be on 12/9 at 6 p.m., and we meet at Wildwood Park. It's a little caravan. It's usually like 20 or 30 cars, and we drive through the neighborhoods spreading Christmas cheer. Also, I attended Muscooby Yabi and Nina's Neighborhood Association meetings. And don't forget about the YMCA Christmas Parade, which will be on December 9th at 9 a.m. And start point will be at 21st and Valencia. And once again, congratulations to the Youth Council. It's been a long time coming, so I'm glad that you're here, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I just really want to wrap it up with a very happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Surround yourselves with family, loved ones, friends, neighbors, and enjoy a happy, safe Thanksgiving. The meeting's now adjourned at 8:07.
I have an update.
Oh,
I have an update that I
Councilmember Figueroa.
Yes, I'm sorry. Through all the commotion and all the activity that happened this year, one of the meetings that the council wasn't able to attend, of course, because of all the commotion that was happening. The last year, we did an evaluation. Every year we do an evaluation of the city manager's office. Unfortunately, this year didn't happen, and it didn't align. Because of that, we left out our other two employees, the city clerk and BBK. And so before the end of the year, I think it would be important to announce that we would have that meeting for the evaluation of BBK and the city clerk's office as well.
Thank you, Councilmember. The meeting's now adjourned at 8:18 p.m. The Mayor and City Council and the Mayor and City Council acting as the successor agency to the redevelopment agency will adjourn to a regular meeting to be held on Wednesday, December 6, 2023 at the Feldheim Central Library located at 555 West 6th Street, San Bernardino, California, 92401. Closed session will begin at 5:30. The regular meeting will begin at 7 p.m.